Hello, my name is H.A. Pruitt and I'm the author of the Anelthalien series, and this video is about the fourth book in the Anelthalien series. This is the title reveal and the reasoning behind the title of the fourth book. So, without further ado, the fourth book in the Anelthalien series is titled Water Rising. Yay, I can say it now. Water Rising. That is the fourth book in the Anelthalien series. So the title is Water Rising. Okay, so the first book is Anelthalien. The second book is Earthquaking. The third book is Water Falling. And the fourth book is Water Rising. And so a lot of people thought that I was going to use a different element because for the second and third I used different elements. But why is the element of water the same in books 3 and book 4? So that's what I'm going to explain. And some other things about the title I'm going to explain. So Water Falling and Water Rising both focus on who had or has the water maker's mark. If you haven't read the books, you may not know what I'm talking about, but the little necklace on the front of the books that I showed, that is a maker's mark. And so the maker's mark, who has it or who had it, that is the focus of books 3 and 4. If you've read book 3, you know who was like a big focus in book 3. And book 4, you can probably guess who will start to be / continue to be the focus of book 4. If you haven't read the books, you should read them so you know what I'm talking about, and because they're really good. And the fourth book is amazing. Okay, so that's why they're Water Rising or Water Falling and then Water Rising, because it has kind of a similar focus. So the story hasn't moved to another character focus yet. If I want to get technical, I would say like the character arc has not been completed. And it doesn't complete because the series goes on, but it comes to kind of a completion. But that aside, we still have this character focus in books 3 and book 4. And using another water word wouldn't capture the intent. And I can't really go into what I mean by that because of spoilers. But if I used another water word, I would get away from what... Yeah, I can't go into spoilers. Another water word like ocean rising or river rising or something like that wouldn't focus in on this character that's connected to the element of the water necklace thing. Okay, there's a lot of things I can't say in this video because they would spoil things, but I hope you know what I mean by that. So then the next question is, well, if the book shares so many elements like the characters and the themes and all this stuff, why make them two separate books? Why not just make them the same book? So this is hard to answer without spoilers again, but I'm going to try. So Water Falling, book 3, I gotta make sure I'm holding up 3 fingers. Book 3 illustrates a downward spiral. Falling. Water is falling. And there are lots of different layers to that meaning, water falling, in the book Water Falling. Again, water refers to 2 different characters in the book, kind of like one of the main characters and then one of the opposite main characters. I don't know how to say that without giving things away again. But the water refers to 2 characters, so when you hear water, you connect it to 2 particular characters. And it's kind of their downward spiral. You see them making choices that aren't so great. You see them kind of going into themselves, kind of internalizing stuff, and you see just kind of this downward spiral in general. With the plot going on around them, it's just this, like, things get worse and worse and worse and worse. And so that's Water Falling. And there's more, but I'm not going to go into it because I'm already being really vague. And Water Rising, when you get to book 4, it continues this downward spiral. And it hits the figurative rock bottom. Like, it just goes down and down and down and down. And then Water Rising just goes like to the bottom and hits the bottom and smacks into the bottom. And things get broken and things get shattered and ended and changed. And that change, the change happens. And in Water Rising, change happens. So unlike Water Falling, where it's just like, things aren't going the right direction and it's not changing. Water Rising goes down and then it hits this place where things start changing. and things start going up. Because like once you hit rock bottom, where do you have to go? You start looking up. And so water rising, there is a sense of going up. And again, I don't want to get into things, but sometimes when we hit rock bottom, like think about in your life and other people's lives, when they hit rock bottom and they start going a different direction, it's not very pretty, because when you get to the worst of the worst, it's not very pretty. It doesn't look good still. But if you've changed from going down and you change your direction, you start going up. And even though it's not pretty and it doesn't look great, it's this kind of rising away from that just down point in life, that lowest point in life. And so it is a rising, even though it's a very subtle kind of rising, because I can't say that. It's a subtle kind of rising, but when you see it, you totally get it. And if you buy the special edition, I'm writing all these notes down and explaining everything, and it's just amazing. But anyway, so also water rising, it's different than water falling, because water rising came to me at a point in my life, this very specific time where things were going on. Again, I'm being so vague. Things were going on, and that part of my life just feels so specific and so set apart from everything else, and so many lessons came out of that part of my life. And writing Water Rising, so many lessons came out of that. It just feels like its own book. It feels like its own. And so that's why it's separate from Water Falling. And I said that right. And Water Rising is shorter. It's the shortest book yet. But the message is so dense. It's so dense. Like the special edition, I'm writing so many notes. When you get to like certain chapters, there's 20 chapters. There's 20 chapters in Water Rising. And when I get to like chapter 13 in my author notes, like there's so much. I'm like, these are so long. There's so much here. But the message is so dense in Water Rising. And so I didn't want Water Rising to overtake Water Falling. Like if I put them in the same book, you'd probably forget about Water Falling because Water Rising is like so much. And you'd forget about the first part of the book because the second part of the book is just like a lot to get through. And just the fact that it's not a lot to get through, in the sense of the story, but like there's so many little tiny moments that mean so much. So it takes you like a second to read it. But then if you stop and think about it, it takes like a page of me writing my author notes to just like process what's going on and what this means. So that's another reason why dividing the books was best, because I didn't want, if people want to stop and like chew on this message mentally, they don't feel like the book is like epically long, because I love a long book, but when you feel like, oh my goodness, like this book is so long, you don't really enjoy it as much as when it's shorter. So I hope all that makes sense, even though a lot of it's vague, because I try not to do spoilers. But excuse me. Water Rising is book 4 in the Anelthalien series, and it is so amazing. It will come out on February 13th, 2024. Yes, February 13th, 2024. And you should just like read the first 3 books so you're ready for when this 4th book comes out, so you can read it and enjoy it and experience it. And so that is, excuse me. That is all I'm going to put in this video. Please like this video. Please share it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please do all the things you're supposed to do with YouTube videos to make sure everybody sees this and wants to buy my book also, because it's amazing. All of them are amazing, but book 4 is my favorite. Like I said, it came to me at such a time in my life that was like so hard and so deep and so like heavy. And this book came during that time. And it just captures all of it. The falling and the low points and the difficulties and the darkness and then the rising out of it and the amazingness of what can happen when you get to a low point and when change happens in your life. So that's why the book's amazing, without any spoilers. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Bye. If you want to know more about Anelthalien or H.A. Pruitt, please follow me on Instagram at H.A. Pruitt. You can find me on Amazon as an Amazon author, H.A. Pruitt. Please watch my YouTube channel and all my cool videos on my channel, H.A. Pruitt Anelthalien. You can find me on the Facebook page, H.A. Pruitt Anelthalien. You can follow me on Goodreads by the name H.A. Pruitt and the book Anelthalien, or you can go to my website where so much cool stuff about Anelthalien is. The website is hapruitt.com.